Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone that taught us this truth never will. And citation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here quick little lesson, dealing with the condition that we're in right now, as far as speaking about, Israel overall. But, 2/3, they kind of happy in the position that they in, even though they're crying out still. But as far as, you being in this here truth and this here walk that we're in, all right, you're going to have your ups and your downs, and, it's going to be a, how do I say, not to say a hard walk, but it's going to be a somewhat of a hard life to live here, more or less to say, if you're in your right mind, because things will make you mad about a lot of different things, the conditions of our people, seeing the things that you see. Let me read this real quick. It says, Ezekiel 9:4, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So going into this, if there's abominations that's going on, if something is basically wickedness that's just flourishing and things like that, you would be in your right mind, like the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, be angry but sin not, because you'll see certain things, it's just like, whether it's like, you have children, you send your kids to school and then they try to teach them about these, these different lifestyles and everything else like that. And you can't say anything about them. All right. Or you can't say, oh, this is wrong, or we don't believe in these types of things, without the kid going back to school and getting some kind of, they coming down on the parents about it, So that would be, being wicked, and if you in your righteous mind, you will be sighing and crying about these things, you'd be upset about these things, you'd be angry seeing these things day in and day out, but ultimately we have to understand that this is our punishment for where we, the things we've been through, all right, the things we've done. All right. So, it's just like as a parent talking to a child. All right. The parent is telling the child, hey, look, you need to get your things together and make sure that you're, on point, don't do this and don't do that. But then the kid doesn't want to listen. And then they want to go and follow on their own path. But then something bad happens to them. Then they want to go and be all in their feelings about some things. It's like, well, no, you was told how to, to live a righteous life, but you chose not to do those things, so you can't be upset about those things. So we have to endure our punishment. It's, again, just like a parent to a child. If you've been in that position as a child before and you get older with that wisdom, you realize that every time your parents were so-called punishing you or disciplining you, it was for your own betterment. All right. So you also have to understand, it's like, look, the things that you see nowadays, that abhor you. All right. It's because of the fact of, look, we've let wickedness flourish for so long. There's a saying that's going on around the world right about now. It's like, hey, man, that's them. Let them do them. Let everybody just be them. Why, why you worried about them? It's like, well, because when we start letting, one of the major things people harp on here is the freedom of speech, freedom of thought and everything like that. It's like, well, we have all these different opinions and these different ideologies and things like that. Look at where we at now. All right. Most people in America, most Americans would say, like if you was to present it to them, like, yo, why don't we just follow what the Most High say? There's no other way around it. You can't even question it. Just follow what he said, and that's it. They would say, oh, we want to have our own freedom of thought. Well, what kind of God? What if I want to do this? What if I want to do that? Who's to say if that's right or if it's wrong? Okay, well, the flip side is we're not following. Everybody's not following what the Most High is saying right now to the T, right? And you look around the globe and you see what's going on. Now, you have all these different people that's here with all these different ideologies that believe in all kind of different things. All right. But even they're upset because why? They see that things is kind of going off and kind of going wrong with things, whether it be, whether it's in line with what they believe or something else. For a quick little example, I work with this one Mo. But anyway, even though he a Mo and he going off, right? Even he was sighing and crying about these abominations that's going on and certain things. And he an Edomite, right? He an Edomite Mo. But he was tripping about how they was tripping on, I forgot what the hell he was complaining about, but basically like cancel culture and allowing these people to have their ideologies. Then he was sighing and crying about how fucked up the earth is and everything else going on with that and what they doing with all the plastics and the degradation of the food and the GMOs. I'm like, damn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you got to think about it. This, first of all, this is an Edomite that's speaking. Second of all, this is a Mod that's speaking. So he got the freedom of his own mindset to do whatever he want to go do and dwell in his wickedness that he want to dwell in. And he an Edomite, right? But even with, the how does scripture say, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Even these wicked ass people ain't happy right now, man. All right, so you being upset about the conditions and the way it is here world, hey, that's a righteous mind to be in. But you have to understand why we're here. Why are we here? All right, let me go to where okay, this is Micah chapter 7, verse 9. All right, it says I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I will behold his righteousness. All right, so what Micah's basically is doing here is being accountable, all right, for the things that, all of us, the things that we've done, You have to think about certain things, it's just like, if you're a man and you got a woman and, you upset that your woman ain't in order and everything like that, you want your wife to be in order and everything like that, your kids is just all going off, or, you single and you can't find a woman, not that you can't find a woman, you can't find a decent woman, all right, or you just upset at the way things are going right now. We have to ultimately think, like, damn, the reason we're in this here condition, all right, the reason I ain't got no control over my woman and my children and my family and my own seed is because why? We ultimately disobeyed the Most High, and now these are the consequences of it, man. All right, so yeah, we can so-called do whatever we want to go and do and live however we want to go live, but this is where it's going to end up at, man. All right, you got to go back to the time in the garden where everything was perfect, everything was in line and in order, going into the curses that was given in Adam and Eve, right? Or as far as for Adam, it was told to him that he was going to have to work by the sweat of his brow. All right. So you got to think about that when you out there in the field, you out there hot and you sweating. I be thinking about this sometime. I'm like, yo, bro, and I see this with a lot of Jakes, they just be outside in the sun, just sweating like a dog, man. All right. But then again, you see these damn Edomites just walking around with them, we talking about here in Florida. They be walking around with hoodies on and shit. You know what I'm saying? And don't even be hot, or they be outside and doing all kind of shit. I'm like, y'all ain't sweating or nothing like that. But hey, man, now some of them, they do be sweating as well too. But not to say that they don't sweat, but at the same time, like, yo, they out here in a hoodie and shit, and you out here working in like, some breathable clothes, and you over here drenched in all sweat. But you have to understand, hey, man, or you see these Edomites over top you, like the scripture say, I've seen servants on horses and princes walking beside them. All right, you at work and you see these stupid ass Edomites that's over top of you. They ain't got no sense in their mind, but yet they over top of you writing your paycheck, and you the one running and controlling their business. Like, yo, I wouldn't make this move, make that move. You're gonna lose everything if you make that move, And they be like, oh, okay, and they, they take advice from you all the time, and you just see their business thriving, and you struggling to, to go get a payday advance to keep your lights on and put some food in your belly, man. And that shit will make you mad, but you have to understand why are we like this, man. All right, let me read it again. Micah 7 and 9, it says, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. All right, so, hey, look, we have to understand that this is a result of us not paying attention. All right, or like, again, a child to a parent. The parent tell the child, hey, keep your grades up or something like that. Make sure you study in this and that. Don't be just screwing off and skipping school and everything like that. Now, this kid is in high school, let's just say, right? He's supposed to graduate, but he kept skipping school all the damn time and not studying. All right, and was on the sports teams, but his grades started falling. Now he got kicked off the sports teams. All right, something that he really loved doing. All right, it's time to graduate, and he ain't gonna graduate on time with the rest of his friends. And that's all he want to do is hang out with his friends. But guess what? You're going to still be in school, repeat the 12th grade again, while they out doing, living life or going to college or doing everything else that they would be doing while you stuck in school. Now, you over there mad like, man, this sucks that I got to go to school and I got to go do this, I got to go do that. Well, if you was doing what you was supposed to be doing from Jump Street, listening to your parents, hey, focus on your schoolwork, take this serious, stay in school, stop skipping school, you wouldn't be in this situation. So a child like that, the only person they can really blame is themselves, man. They can't blame, man, this stupid school, I got to go back to school, I hate this. Well, if you hated it that much, why didn't you do what you had to do to get up out of there, man? All right, let me actually go back a little bit. Micah 2 and 10 says, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction. All right, this here whole place where we at, it's all polluted, Everything is all upside down and inside out. This is not a place for us to sit here and enjoy this place and have a good old time here, man. All right, you have to understand that we living in hell right now, and the reason we're in hell is because we wind up going off. This is why it's, the Most High's got the spotlight on us, and where our eyes are opened up to the fact right now of, yo, this is why we shouldn't be going off. This is why we shouldn't ignore the words and the counsel of the Most High, man. Because now look at how destroyed everything is, man. All right, this is what happens when, like the school scenario. This is what happens when you skip school every damn day. This is what happens when you don't study. You lose, you get kicked off the sports team. All right, you got to repeat. You don't get to graduate on time with the rest of your friends. All right, you got to repeat the grade while they all out going to college and going and doing this and doing that. Your ass is still sitting behind that damn desk, man. All right, so now you sitting over here. How do I say? You wallowing in your sorrows. All right, but ultimately, the only person you can blame is yourself, man. All right. This is Hebrews 4:11. It says, "Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief." Just getting into, straight into the point. This is not our rest, all right? But let us labor to enter into that rest. We're in the process of building up, the foundations and the building blocks of the kingdom of heaven, a kingdom of righteousness, all right, where we're not going to cry, no more sorrows, no more tears, no more pain. We're in the process of building all those things, right? So what type of mindset should you have in this here time? Oh, let's just keep doing what we're doing out here in this destroyed place. The reason we in this destroyed place and getting destroyed is because we didn't care about what the hell we was doing. Ultimately, it was all according to the will of the Most High. But as far as on our end, all right, we're here, living paycheck to paycheck, if even that, struggling with our wives and our children and our jobs and just the stress of this here life and this body and all these different things. We're here in this here condition because why? We decided to go and do our own thing. All right, we didn't want to focus and listen to what the Most High had going on. All right, so now let us put forth our best, our best foot forward and try to get this here work done as far as building up this here righteous kingdom so we can dwell in righteousness, man. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us his truth and ever will. And salutation, much love for you. I can push his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.